the subject of people who are sensitive came up. I'm close to a few people who really are sensitive to that kind of thing, have seen a lot. And I was wondering, do you find that those people attract more of that sort of thing, or is it just it's all around and they just can see it a lot better?
I don't know.
It's,
I would tend to think, one of the things we've been working on, and, not to get too far off subject, but like the full spectrum camera. What we're trying to do is basically, almost do what a psychic can do without the camera. I'm not as sensitive, as Grant mentioned, he's not sensitive, so we need the equipment to back up any experience. But, as far as sensitive goes, I think it's terrific, and I think that what they're essentially doing is being able to see more than most of us can. And there's a lot of people who say they have this ability. I've met a couple who I believe in, and so, yeah. I'm doing a Dustin here, aren't I?
Hey, talk about quad biking! Woo!
I was waiting for it.
No, I met with, we actually used to work with the Orion Research Institute and testing psychics, and a lot of times they're just seeing, like, honestly, when we train people, we tell them, look, whether you believe it or not, just accept the fact that these entities are around you all the time. You're taking a shower, dropping a deuce, whatever. They're there. Just accept it, because then when you see one, it won't be so surprising. We all do that, right?
It's again one of those things, be prepared for anything in Dragoncon. It's the fourth day.
But honestly, talk to these people that can be very disturbed because, I knew one person where I have to walk enter the room first and shake the hands of the people in the room, so that person knew who was alive and who was not. And she always walked around with her head down like this because if she made eye contact with an entity, it wouldn't leave her alone. So, I mean, it can be pretty severe, and there are people that are really bothered by it. And we have a good friend, Adam Bly, who actually goes around to mental institutions and is able to discern the difference between people who are sensitive and schizophrenic. Now, how he does that, I don't know, but the people who he guesses, I guess, are sensitive, he's able to bring them back down to sanity and get them out of there. So that guy's amazing. And I mean, who is even thinking about that, So I think it's a combination of both, yeah. They see more and stuff can be attracted because they can see them.
This is our last question from the floor.
Hey, about the Goldfield Hotel, there was another show where they investigated in the basement and they were almost practically chased out. And when you guys went, you didn't really do the basement. Did you guys get to investigate and you just didn't see it?
Well, see, this is the problem with TV. We did investigate the basement, and we all investigated. We investigated for 2-3 hours each, and just like we hit every other part of that hotel. The thing is, if nothing happens, they're not going to waste your time and show it. In fact, we've had in season 1 we investigated 30 locations, and I think they only used maybe 13 or 15. Nothing happens; they're not going to bore you. Honestly, we had activity elsewhere. So, welcome to we're victims of editing. But thank you very much, guys. We're tired, but we're happy. We're so glad you guys came out.
Five more minutes, and I have been waiting to ask this one, but I wanted you to have the full Dragoncon experience.
Abusing your power, huh? First prize and honorable mention.
Here we go. No, you've been at Dragoncon for 4 days. Some of you, this would be 12 days total at Dragoncon, or 8 days. So, starting with Robb, not that what has scared you, but maybe what has startled or surprised you when you've been around Dragoncon so far in these past 4 days?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Going out with a bang.
I gotta edit myself on this one. Yeah, I guess seeing duct tape wardrobe.
I was just gonna say that. It's got a hurt coming off. It's got a hurt coming off, don't you think?
What?
It's got to hurt coming off. That tape on the wardrobe? It's part of the experience. Okay, anyway, as you were.
Freaky stuff right there.
Wow.
Okay, Dave, what?
The naked women. I mean, you don't see that every day. You walk around and it's just, no, honestly, I have to maybe switch a little bit. The coolest thing I love about Dragoncon is like I'm into comic books, I'm into like superhero stuff like that. Yeah, I'm a geek. But like, I go around and then it's like they're real. Like seeing them in real life and I get so charged. I'm like, wow, and I go up to some of them and it's like, are you going to protect me if something happens? You're like, yeah, I'm going to protect you, all right.
They're going to let you down.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, it's so cool. It's like you're living in a fantasy world and that's what I love about this the most.
I love it. I'm a super geek. I love the Star Wars. I love the anime. I love it all. And, even when you guys stop inviting us, I'm still going to come back. I don't mean that in a bad way.
There are 800 people in this room that if I say stop inviting, I'm like having to run out the back.
Honestly, the first year I was here, okay, I walk in the door, and I look and I see a gentleman dressed as a Lego man. Legos meant a lot to me as a kid, so I was like, oh, that's awesome, look at that. And you look over and there's a woman wearing a caution tape. And behind her is a woman wearing a G-string and painted. Nothing else. So I'm like, mental whiplash, right? I'm just like, kid. And then Jason and I were in the elevator. One of the few times it's just him and I in the elevator. Comes down, ding, hits the floor, door opens, and they must have been a 300-pound guy in just a G-string. So he takes one step on the elevator. I look at Jay, and Jay looks at him and he goes, no. And the guy steps off the elevator and the door's closed. And if you are wondering why that lovely man is not here to celebrate his daughter's birthday, I just had to get that out there, make sure you understand. But that's why we love him.
Yes, that's why I let my child come in the morning, and then, there's a 7 o'clock cutoff time.
Yeah, it goes from PG to, R, NC-17, then I go to bed.
Dustin?
Yeah, this was my first time down here, and really didn't know exactly what to expect, and I really have to commend everybody. Everybody's been great, but some people really go all out with these costumes and these outfits. There's not many other places where I can, wake up and look out my window and I look down the street and there's like a whole horde of stormtroopers. Yeah, it looks cool. And I can say this because there's at least a half a dozen Batmans, so if the real one's here, you won't be offended. But I'm walking down to the convention, the Walk of Fame thing with Rob, and I've got my little box of pictures, and I'm waiting for the light to change. And I hear somebody, obviously having an argument. We're all people, we argue sometimes, and this guy dressed as Batman is cursing out a woman dressed as an angel. There's pretty much nowhere else you'll ever see that.
Love it. Where else can you dress how you want and say what you want? It's just the most amazing group of people. Just the nicest people. Everyone's just looking to have a good time, and there's nowhere like it on earth.
Well, thank